Guys, today's video is going to be by far the most deep and impactful video I could ever offer you as a beloved soul of this universe. Discovering your true self, your life purpose, and self-love. You know, society has propagated out a false love where it's not love. You know, controlling and using somebody, having an ego buddy, is not love. Love is when you truly embrace your true inner self, you're able to then give true love, right? Love is giving, when you are able to give and serve. The opposite is somebody's insecure, they don't love themselves, they have low self-esteem, and they're trying to take and receive from other people. And it's never going to fulfill them, because guess what? They don't love their true self from within, so they're insecure, they're not fulfilled, they're empty on the inside. And the outward world, the dead world, I call it dead weight, will never fulfill you, including another dead person. It'll never fulfill your emptiness. But when you discover your true self, it's beautiful. And I sat in a forest, I talk about it in the video on depression, failed suicide attempt, and I had hit rock bottom. I thought my ego buddy relationship was supposed to be love. It hit rock bottom. I had 4 mouths to feed at the time, and there was no funds for my remodeling landscape business that disappeared overnight. Excuse me. But I truly discovered myself, though. That was when I was not only able to give and have authentic relationships that were not ego buddy relationships, that society tells you supposed to be love. And I talk about it in my video on the mind, the subconscious mind, what's the right word, paradigms of the subconscious mind. It's all the tactics that one family who owns all of the media, the politicians, uses to control society. They don't want to give you shit. They want to control you and use you, just like they did after, the Middle East war, when they sent 50,000 troops in from all over the world for oil. For oil. I talked to a Navy SEAL. Talked to somebody in the Navy. Navy SEAL told me the same thing. No shit. There was a backwards agenda behind the scenes. Anybody that's got common sense, which really, unfortunately, is not that common anymore. And society has filled people's minds with a false love. And thankfully, people are starting to wake up. You know, the health and wellness industry is a $1 trillion industry now. You know, now there's thousands of so-called self-help gurus trying to pop up on the internet now. And when I started, there was only 4 powerhouses that I studied underneath before I applied it to my life. 2 of which I don't watch anymore because of exactly what I'm talking about right now, the take and fill versus giving through the vibration of love. And that was half of what got me to start my nonprofit. Half of it was because I lived in Mexico and I wanted to let people know what's really going on in Mexico versus what the news uses as a dividing and conquering, aka ignorance and fear, divide and conquer the world, was telling people Mexico was. And I wanted to do that for every country. We're working with Native Americans right now. A border tribe was split in half by the wall. Nobody talks about it on the news. People separated from their families. Giant wall placed right in the middle. Why is this not being taught in history classes? It's happening right now. And this is only the U.S. and Mexico border. God knows how much is going on around the world right now. Journalists are dying in the Middle East, preaching the truth. Journalists are dying in Europe for preaching the truth. And the vibration of love and giving comes when you embrace your true self. And what did I do to achieve that? I've repeated an affirmation and a truth that I am a 400 trillion to 1 miracle when I started this whole self-discovery and life purpose journey. And when I repeated that enough for a couple of weeks and embraced that I was a 400 trillion to 1 miracle, I started to realize and see and become awakened, I opened my fucking eyes to the truth that I have talents and gifts that nobody else has. I did not even go to school, and based on just talents and gifts of emotional intelligence and emotion and people and understanding, how people think. I was always that kid at the airport just watching people. Just based on talent and gifts alone, I was able to online advertise and market 2 businesses from ground zero to 6-figure profitable powerhouses in just 6 months. 1,500%, 2,000%. I just all through online advertising and marketing. This was almost 8 years ago. And these were some of my talents and my gifts. Not everybody knows how to do that. And my character, my values. I was always a very creative person. I started with creativity. Honest person. I've always been an honest person. Is that a gift? Yes. I don't think it's a curse. I'm going to tell you the brutally honest truth. If you don't like it, that's your problem. We just go tiptoeing around in society, around people's dogma masks. And I'm like, why? Speak the truth. Stop living in a delusion. And I realized, after I truly embraced my true self, I realized there are tons, half the people I come across, maybe a little bit less, are already in the same living state. A lot of them are older folks, 60s, 70s, 50s. But there's a lot of folks and people and souls, younger people too, that have families. They created families out of true love and wanting to create life together because they truly loved each other. They truly love themselves. They truly love somebody else. Because when you truly love yourself, you get into this mentality where you're like, wait a moment. I truly love myself and understand all of myself and appreciate myself for what makes me that 400 trillion to 1 unique individual. Why would I allow some completely random stranger, completely random, I don't know anything about them, they don't understand anything about who I love, why would I allow them to just take a part of me? Why would I allow them to just instantly, get that deep with me? Why would I allow them, why would I want to just instantly be in a relationship? That is, whoa. They don't deserve, they don't even understand or know anything about me. They're completely random. I don't love anything about them. But when you truly love yourself and you truly get to understand somebody and embrace their true self over time, who they truly are, not who they're pretending to be or some false flattery, it's amazing. You then want to create life with them. You want to create life out of love, through the vibration of love, because you are both alive. You're both already happy with your life. It's the greatest thing when 2 individuals love themselves truly, because then they're able to have their own happiness. My brother Will Smith said it perfectly. He had to go out and find his own happiness and some last pieces of himself and bring back this unique happiness to his marriage and relationship. And they both had to do it because they were not going to ever make each other happy. It was their own individual responsibility. Stop trying to find somebody that you can use to make you happy. It's never going to happen. The universe and energy and life, do not work that way. And your talents, your gifts, your character, your values, your accomplishments, where you're at, wherever you're at in life, your maturity, what you've experienced and gone through and overcome. I love older people. I love young people too that are old souls. They've actually gone through some diversity in life. Maybe they grew up with a single parent, made some mistakes, that kind of stuff. I love those people too. I love mature people. I love responsible and mature, life experienced individuals. It's a lot to love there and appreciate that makes them unique. And this is what makes you unique. And when you embrace this, it's not an ego, which is insecurity, which is a dogma mask that you feel like makes you better than everybody. It's the opposite. This is what makes you unique, and you love and appreciate it, and you value it because it's true, it's authentic. You didn't have to cheat and fuck people over to wear some bling bling gold watch to where now your false delusion, you think you're better than everybody, and you want to sing about how powerful you are when you fucking cheated and screwed over humanity and society selling drugs. That's an ego mask. Because you had 10 plastic surgeries, and now you want to brag about how you're a billionaire when you and your sisters are plaguing society and destroying innocent little teenage girls' lives instead of helping them and actually benefiting their lives. You're taking advantage of their insecurities. I pray for you when you die and you get to feel just as dead and miserable as you and your boyfriend, who just had to file for bankruptcy, who was supposed to be a god, I thought. When you truly discover yourself, I don't censor stuff, guys. I say it how it is. What my heart feels, what life, religion talks about the wrath of God. Life is a very dangerous and powerful thing. It's a double-edged sword. And when you truly love yourself, though, for what makes you unique, that's true, then yes, you are able to love other individuals for what makes them unique and what makes them valuable. And it's a respect. It's honor. It's respect for people's time, for your time. And this is exactly what it is, guys. But first, you have to be honest and truthful with yourself. What is my true character? What is my laugh? What is my sense of humor? Who am I? And just meditate on it. What are my gifts and my talents? What am I passionate about? And it doesn't take 10 years. 20-year-olds, you don't got to close your eyes until you're 30. If my dad had sat me down when I was 18 and asked me, who the fuck are you? What are you going to stand for? What are you going to fight for, son? What do you love about life? What are you going to do next? When I was 18, if my father just sat me down and asked me those questions, who the fuck are you? This might be weird, son, but who the fuck are you? That would have changed my whole life. And this, guys, is what true love is. And I talk about it in the Book of Life, 700 pages, and we've been talking about it now for 12 minutes for free. Is life purpose? There's two parts to this, right? There's life and there's purpose. What is life? I talk about it in all my videos. Life is vibrating through all of us. Infinite life. The trees, the plants, the flowers, the animals, they all vibrate on this 432 hertz, or these miracle frequencies that are called the love frequencies, the most pure tones of creation that we were born vibrating in on ourselves. We are all interconnected through this infinite spirit and infinite energy that's flowing through us as a soul. That's what life is. We are the highest form of vibration of life. We were vibrating as the highest form of creation. We have higher faculties that no other creature has. Go watch my video on higher faculties if you want. And this is what life is. So if we are all life, we are all interconnected. Mark Zuckerberg and Steve Jobs and a top eBay executive all went to a retreat in India. I say it all the time. The most powerful people know about this stuff, guys, and they practice this stuff. They went to a retreat where there was one motto preached by the Hindi yogi or guru, and he said it perfectly. All is one. We are all connected through energy and vibration. The law of vibration, the law of attraction. We are all interconnected through life. And this vibration of love is what vibrates and expands out life. For our children, for the future, the circle of life. And that's what life is. And then purpose is exactly that. What makes you unique? What makes you a 400 trillion to one miracle? What makes you unique? And when you combine the two, ta-da, you have your life purpose. To contribute to the circle of life, through your unique individual self. And younger people, they overthink it. Don't take this the wrong way. But when you have a tree that you plant, it's a small tree, right? But if that tree is willing to evolve and grow through the vibration of love and life, that tree is going to become huge and massive over time. It's going to have to hit storms. It's going to lose branches. It might even lose Might even burn down and have to, grow back. But as a young person, just embrace who you are. Just be honest with yourself. You don't gotta try being, some other guru or some other person out of insecurity thinking people are gonna like you. Because that guru or whoever they are, they had to go through a lot of trials and tribulations to become that tree. Embrace your own unique self, okay? What are your talents and your gifts right now? What is your character? What are you going to fight for? What aligns with your personality and where you're at in life, your accomplishments? And then build a vision of who you want to become 10 years from now based on who you just described. What are your strengths that you can double down on? What are your weaknesses that you can improve? And have a vision of who you want to become, your own unique singer, your own unique, whatever it is, creative industry person, whatever you're passionate about, your heart calls you towards. And evolve. And love yourself for who you are along the way, what makes you unique. And don't just give that up, because even if you're 18, okay, there's still things to love about you, okay? And this is how life is, and this is when you embrace your true self, guys. And you're able to, instead of trying to take out of insecurity and fill your insecurity, you're able to give out of love. And you have your life purpose, and you're able to give yourself self-love. You take care of yourself. You take care of your time. You respect your time. You respect your soul, your emotions, who you are. You don't just throw it around or give it up to strangers. It's an amazing thing. You let go of the flesh. The flesh in the physical world is nothing more than an illusion. There's no truth to it, guys. The truth is your true inner self. That's when you start living from within. You let go of the flesh. You let go of all the dead weight. What I call materialistic items is dead weight. And it's a beautiful day. And there's so much of humanity that's already living in this state. And we need to make our voices louder. The voice of love louder. Loving meditations on these miracle frequencies. If you combine them together, they already have more views than most mainstream songs. We're at a point in an evolution in life where we're about to hit a perfect society and perfect life. Everything's going to be perfect very soon. And what happens after that, guys, if you study the laws of the universe? Kaboom! Which means, guess what? We're going to grow even more perfect. Because you have to be imperfect before you become perfect, right? So embrace yourself, guys, for all of you young people out there. You don't gotta wait until you become, the version of yourself that you're trying to visualize. Love yourself right now, guys. There's so much to love about you already. No matter what stage of life you're at, just respect and honor yourself, guys. Love the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you smile. Fall in love with yourself. You get 100 years, guys. You get 100 years with one person, and that's yourself. And the more you love yourself, then guess what? Answer me this. Guess what? The more you love yourself, guess what? The more love you're able to give out, and the more true love that you're able to receive. But it all starts with you. Everything starts with you first in life. And that energy will go out, and that energy will come back. I truly believe, if we go into religion, the Christian Bible verse, above all the commandments, I give this to religious people sometimes, and it blows my mind how they still give me another commandment. But above all commandments, love, Jesus the prophet said, love your God with all your heart as you do your neighbor and yourself. If you understand how the mind works and how energy in the universe works, there's a reason the prophet Jesus said it in this order. Love your God with all your heart, not fear, but love as in understand, because now there's a voice that preaches what you can understand. Understanding is love. I'm not a Christian, guys. Don't take this the wrong way, but I find this very interesting. Love your God with all your heart, as you do your neighbor, or a stranger per se. People take these verses so literally. As you do a stranger or your neighbor, like you do yourself. It all starts with yourself. If you're not starting with yourself, it's not going to go to a stranger, and it's not going to go to the universe and all of infinite life. So love yourself first, guys, and then you will give true love, and true love comes right back to you. That's simple, guys. I love you all, and I wish you all the very best. Thank you.